Hey everyone, James with TFBTV, and this has got to be one of the most special episodes of TFBTV that I've ever done, and you guys already know why. At least 90% of you watching this channel already know why, and that's because I'm with living legend, Clint Smith. Barely living legend. No, certainly a legend.
Yeah,
certainly a
I'm
legend.
glad y'all are here with us.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be here. We've been here at Thunder Ranch. If you guys don't know about Thunder Ranch, you Google it. I mean, you probably do. I'm assuming 90% of you do, but for those of you who don't know what Thunder Ranch is, or if you're not lucky enough to know who Clint Smith is, I'm just going to let him tell you in his own words. Clint, could you tell everybody, if they're not familiar with you, tell us about you, tell us about Thunder Ranch.
Sure. So without sounding like an arrogant ass, just a long story short, I sort of am a extension of my generation. My grandfather was both in World War I and World War II. My dad was in World War II. So in 1967, graduating from high school, I joined the Marine Corps. I spent 2 and 3 tours in Vietnam. I was in combined axle platoons. I came home and I was a law enforcement officer for 10 years. That was our family tradition. My dad was a policeman for 25 years, my brother for 20, my uncle for 25. We were everything in law enforcement but Irish, if you know what I mean. So we kind of get that idea. I had an opportunity while I was there in 1979 to work or go to school at gun sight with Mr. Jeff Cooper, Colonel Cooper, whichever one rings everyone's bell. Everyone's got their own idea. They're sensitive about it. Okay, so I went there and I taught some classes. He asked me to be an adjunct instructor, which was awesome. I had 10 years in law enforcement then, so I decided to not do that anymore. And so I went to gun sight from 80 to 83 as his operations officer. Awesome experience because you went from a law enforcement background where people are sort of forced to go to training to a civilian format where people want to go to training. So they sort of pay money, and they want to be there. That's the key. I don't know about the money. I never have. That's Heidi's job, my wife. So that was cool. And I did that for 3 years, and that was good. And like all things in life, there are splits in the road. And so I started my own business in 1983. The original business was ITC. People who look at it, that's the black shield and the 3 red stripe logo, because all the cool animals were taken, the dragons and the chickens and all that stuff. So we did that. And then I taught on the road from 1983 to 93. In that process, in 86, I met a gentleman in Florida, and we came to an agreement, which is basically not being ugly, but he would be like historically what someone would call your sugar daddy, so to speak. So I wanted to teach. He wanted to have a ranch in Texas. So he bought the ranch in Texas. So we opened Thunder Ranch by that name in 1993. We stayed in Texas from 93 to 2004. And like Sherman said, that would be General Sherman, if he owned hell in Texas, he'd live in hell and rent out Texas. Okay, so I got Texas, but we moved to Southern Oregon. And of course, people go, oh God, Oregon, and then actually the laws in Oregon are as good right today. And they were as good 15 years ago when we moved here as they were in Texas. So, when people go like, well, why would you move there? It's like whatever color state it is. And so it doesn't matter. Heidi's mom lives a couple hours up the road. That's cool. Your wife should live closer to her mama. We own the land that we're on now. And so that's awesome, I think. Okay.
And it's beautiful out here, by the way, guys.
So it's a good spot. We're happy here. And, this is what we do. So altogether in business for myself since 83 and Thunder Ranch for now 25 years. So that's kind of the long and short of it.
Now, how many would you say, if you had to guess, ballpark me, over the years of like these bullshit video and print interviews have you done?
Oh wow, I don't know. 100 maybe.
Sure. So
60 Minutes is on national
that's
TV.
Right. That's right. Yeah, you were interviewed for 60 Minutes.
That's a really awesome one because it isn't about the interview. I don't look at yourself on TV really, but the announcement for it, like it gonna be on TV, came right between the end of the Super Bowl and the beginning of Survivor, which is probably like you talk about a bracket, you know, for like, and so it was an awesome interview. It was good because you got to tell the truth.
Right.
And sometimes the truth is painful, but, you know, I think the commentary was, you know, somebody asked me, you know, and I go like, hey, you know, bluntly, there are people who need to be shot.
I was just about to say,
right.
I think that was my favorite quote from the interview. And so that's incredibly awesome that made it to 60 minutes.
Yeah. So.
And so you've done a bunch of these. And the thing is, if you guys just Googled Clint Smith, I mean, you're going to see interview after interview after interview. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. And Clint doesn't know this. He's about to be ambushed with 20 questions. And you can be as brief or as verbose as you want to be on any of these.
Does verbose mean I can talk a lot?
I want to know, first of all, we're going to start, we're going to throw you a softball to start with, Clint. If you guys don't know a Clintism, this guy, in case you can't tell already, he says something, you're like, shit, I want to get out a pen and a paper, write that down. Off the top of your head, right now, best Clintism, and what does it mean?
What's the one we just said? You know, there are people who need to be shot. And I don't mean it in an ugly way. I don't want to shoot anybody. And, you know, that's not the purpose and function of the school, you know, as far as teaching people and stuff like that. But I think it was for the time and place and the quote, it was probably like one of the big money ones, you know, from a career standpoint. You know, all the other ones, and my wife Heidi will tell you, I have no idea where this stuff comes from. I'm just like cruising along, teaching a class, and you know, stuff just comes out, you know. So
pure genius.
Which sometimes, by the way, and some people, if you watch the videos, some people might be offended. I'm a little maybe rough around the edges for some people, but I'm teaching gunfighting. I'm not teaching finger painting. Okay, you know, I mean, like, I'm offended by that. I'm offended that you're offended, so we're even.
My favorite was, I think this weekend was, I wouldn't carry a 380 in my ass if I had room in there for a tugboat. I think it was something like that.
I wouldn't have a 380 bedroom. Yeah, got it. That was close. Yeah, that was good.
Good enough. First gun you've ever owned?
First gun I ever owned, I still have. It's a Stevens 410 single barrel shotgun, and we bought it at Sears and frickin' Roebuck.
And I assume you're holding on to it for sentimental reasons.
No, it's a good shotgun.
No shit. So you got to use it and actually shoot with it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your favorite handgun?
I would be, people would suppose that I would say a 1911, but to be honest with you, like if I would open my safe, I have more revolvers than I do hand auto pistols. I of course have and carry a 1911 and have done so since 1970. So in fairness, I would have to say the 1911.
Okay. Any particular brand, make, model you want to throw out?
The guns that I carry now, I have Jason Burton at Heirloom Precision, and although it sounds like a sales pitch, it's not. We just came online with the new gun with Nighthawk, and you know who those people are. And I'm really excited about that gun. You know, somebody goes, "Well, this is not very cheap." Nothing's cheap. Okay, I'm saving my life with this. Why does it have to be cheap?
Next question: have you ever seen a live musical?
No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so either, but I had to ask. Your best rifle ever invented?
In my opinion, the Sturmgewehr 44.
Okay.
And only because it's the foundation for the Kalashnikov, and we all know what that means.
Sure.
Okay. So as far as a combat rifle, and we all know, you know, the M1 Garand, I got it. Okay. I grew up on M14s. So that's, like you said, a hard question to go like, okay, this gun. Okay. So I have a Smokin Rifle Dynamics AK, and I have also a really awesome M1 Garand. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the great thing about today. You can have both.
And if you could only own one, what would it be? One rifle?
Probably the Garand, and the reason is I wouldn't have to worry about magazines. They have the M-block loaders, and as long as I had those, okay, you know, they would dump. And people go like, well, you go 7.8 and it goes ping. No one's going to hear that. You just shot 8 rounds of 30-06, you retard.
Have you ever been inside of a Whole Foods?
A what?
The most frequent mistake that you see in your classes?
Shit holsters. Yeah. Always remember that the gun, no matter how good it is, no matter how expensive it is, okay, it's not any good if it doesn't come from a stable platform. Many times gunfights start as fistfights, and if you ask most people who are watching this, if you've ever been in a physical altercation from grade school till today, did you find yourself during that altercation on the ground? And the answer will be yes. So part of fighting is being on the ground, so the stability for the platform that you're gonna shoot, okay? It doesn't do me any good to carry the gun and then not have access to it. So like these jackass things like putting it in a, like a appendix carry, okay, which is not new, by the way. I can show you a holster made in 1880, okay, it was appendix carry. The difference was you also carried a gun that didn't have a round under the hammer and is pointing at your junk. And then only probably preempted by the small of the back, which is appropriately named the SOB. And they could throw a tinge of jackass holsters in there, which are exactly the correct name for that thing.
Do you watch professional sports?
No. A lot of highly overpaid people, okay, who can like dribble a basketball. That's challenging. Okay, like for me, it would be challenging. Okay, and I didn't say they weren't talented. I find no merit in that. It's a lot like social media. It basically sucks for the most part 100 years from now. And I get it, this is social media, but 100 years from now, we'll look back and we will treat social media 100 years from now, in my mind's eye, like they did the Black Death and the plague in the medieval times. It will be something that has a big impact, maybe not in a positive manner.
That hurts my feelings.
I know, no, but it's not personal, okay?
And you used the word overpaid. You were talking about sports, overpaid. So turning that back to the gun industry,
right.
What do you think the biggest waste of money is that most, like say new shooters or experienced shooters?
Oh, biggest waste of money for the new shooter. Yeah. Putting shit on a gun that already works. So like, why would I buy a Glock 19 and then put a barrel and an extended this and an extended that and put a whole bunch of crap on it? Just leave it do what it does.
Holy shit, I'm going to drop a card to my top 5 best Glock improvements videos. No, Clint, it was ammo, I think sights, and a holster.
Right.
I think those are like my best.
But the foundation of that is really solid in what you're saying, okay? Anything that you'd want to fight with, even if it was a silly 380, which is part of the flaw with them, you want to have sights you can see, a trigger that works, have it come from a stable platform, and one of the advances, of course, always, like in what we would call the war on terror, that last 2 decades has given us quantum leaps, like from stagecoaches to the space shuttle, in projectile design, in medicine, like in the sense of like, dude, I had a guy in class that lost his leg in Afghanistan, and okay, it was like a cool dude, man. He jerks his baby up and it was like RoboCop. I mean, there's all this computer shit in there, and this guy can basically just short of run like the wind.
Best movie you've ever seen?
Oh, I would say I like The Professionals, but the original one, not the one with the French guy, the one with Lee Marvin, okay, Burt Lancaster, and Woody Strode.
Okay, that surprised me. For some reason, I mean, maybe I'm stereotyping. I thought for sure it was going to be like a World War II, like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, cowboy stuff, man, America.
That's funny. Tell us your opinion on open carry.
They're idiots. Why would you give up the element of surprise? Part of the criteria of carrying the gun would be to gain back the element of surprise.
Longest you've ever gone without sleeping, and why?
Oh, probably in the day when my hair was darker and my heart was lighter. Vietnam.
First album you ever bought?
Probably the Beatles, and I think it was Norwegian Wood. Might have been the name of the album. I know the song was on there, okay, but I don't remember. And that was weird. I'm actually a Motown guy. I grew up in northeastern Indiana, so as a kid, I used to lay in bed at night, and my mom would go, everybody else in the family slept upstairs. I slept downstairs. I had my own room, of course. But my mom would go, turn that radio off. So I had an Emerson plastic case, gold color radio, and I would listen to Detroit Tiger baseball, okay? And the big ones was always when the Yankees came. You go like, I thought you didn't like professional sports. The way that they have changed in their behavior is the reason I've changed my attitude about them, okay? Do you still listen to music? Absolutely.
And what are you listening to right now?
AC/DC would be like pretty solid. I listen to still a lot of old Motown stuff, the Temptations, stuff like that. And people, maybe don't see that, but that's cool. Not a country western guy. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but
any contemporary musicians? You an Adele guy? You a Kelly Clarkson? Oh, really?
Adele, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Good. Yeah.
I hope that's the first time anybody's ever asked you that.
Winehouse. It was a waste for her to like.
That's heroin, right? Yeah. Heroin.
Man, some dope. You know what I mean? Like dope's doing dope. I like her. Ed Sheehan, I like him a lot. He's a cool dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Best camo pattern. What do you like? I mean, it just looks the coolest, most effective, whatever.
Probably blue jeans and this shirt.
Do you drink?
No.
Did you ever?
No, I've had a half a beer in my life when I shot my first elk.
Okay. Do you know what it was?
The beer?
Yeah.
No.
How old were you when you shot your first elk?
Oh, yeah, dude, I was like, so figure 86, 89, 40, 36 or 7, something like that.
Best trip you've ever been on?
Probably with my hot girlfriend, Heidi, when we got married and went to Cabo, although I wouldn't repeat that now. But that was a different time.
Yeah, sure,
Okay, right.
sure. No, I totally understand.
I mean, that's 20 years ago. Things have changed a lot in 20 years, so.
Best pet you've ever had?
Rue. Okay, my Australian Shepherd was my best big dog, but I have to qualify that in that there's Rue, okay, was the big dog, and probably my favoriteest dog, okay, who passed away when I was holding her was Boo, and she's a Parsons Jack Russell Terrier.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Wow, so yeah, probably still.
She lived a long time. She was 15.
Okay.
So,
yeah, way longer than most dogs.
Right.
But yeah, that's still got to be a fresh wound.
Yeah.
That's wild. What would your last meal be?
My what?
Your last meal.
What would it be?
Yeah, what would it be? Like, if you're like, you could have anything. That's like, what's your favorite meal? It's just, it's kind of a creepy way of asking it, but that's how everybody asks.
I guess like French fries and a chocolate malt.
No shit. From where?
Or if I could, now where? See, now that's a different question. I thought you were talking about here. If you're talking about where.
No, like, you could get, I could snap my fingers and make it appear in front of you.
Coney Island hot dog from Main Street in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
No shit. Yeah. Is it the same one that's in
I don't think
Detroit?
so. It's just the
okay.
name.
They just call it Coney Island.
But we went there as a kid. You got them. You get the box. When you pick the box up, it's son of a bitch is covered in slimy ass grease. Okay, you know you're gonna die when you eat it, but you eat it anyways because they're really good.
Other than meeting Heidi, of course, who, by the way, has been fantastic and extremely generous. You're way out of your league.
I know. I definitely married up. Yeah.
Yeah, outkicked your coverage big time.
Up in quality, down in age, or something like that. Whatever.
Other than meeting Heidi, your greatest accomplishment, what was it?
Dude, I don't really have any great accomplishments.
Oh, shut up.
I think.
What are you the most proud of? In your life, what are you the most proud of?
I'm proud of the fact that I work on a daily basis, get out of bed. I enjoy getting out of bed, and I enjoy doing what I do. I'd like to teach a class a week after I'm dead. I like teaching.
Yeah, and you do a great job at it. This has been one of the best.
Even a pig will find a strawberry after 50 years.
This weekend, shooting with Clint, it's been, seriously, and I mean this. This is not just because the camera's rolling, one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. So I know it's just like another thing for you. Yeah. It was awesome for me, I'm sure.
It's not another thing for me. I meet new people, and like in this case, this is a good experience. We got a chance to look at people outside the box. And you and I talked about this, and I can say this because I can say what I want. You asked me, it's an interview. I like this because I think I told you this morning that what I did the last couple of days, I didn't get paid for, like in the sense of money, okay? But I'm absolutely sure that you're not going to take the money with you. Now, do you need money? Yeah, you need to have toilet paper in the bathroom. The lights need to come on. The water needs to run, okay? But that's not why I do what I do. I do it for a different reason. So
now, Clint, I already have taken up too much of your time, and I appreciate you being on the program. This is like you're by far, like what I would say the most legendary of any of the guests we've ever had. I mean, truly. I mean, I know you're a very humble guy too. So.
Can you spell legend?
Yeah.
So our family joke is you can't use any words you can't spell. Okay, so like I got it. I was just teasing you.
So anyways, Clint, thanks a ton for the interview, guys. We're going to be bringing you a lot more from Thunder Ranch here in Oregon, and the content was all provided by Arrow, the people at Ballistic Advantage. You guys know my other boy, my other Clint, Clint Hansen. Yeah,
Right.
you know, he's out here. We've been spending time with him. Yeah. Brownells, of course. Cool. You know, we did a build. You guys are going to see the video for a build that we did with the Arrow Ballistic Advantage. On that build, we used Brownell's tools, and when we got done with it, we slapped some EOTech glass on top.
Right.
So we had
the voodoo glass.
Yeah, the voodoo glass. And then finally, it was Double Tap Industries that provided the ammunition that we used. So we have to say thank you to all of them, as well as thank you to Thunder Ranch. Thank you to Clint. Guys, we will see you next week. Be on the lookout for more content from Thunder Ranch. And we do have a prop. Ryan, do you remember the thing? We need a pen. And so, Clint, we would be honored if you would sign our Glock magazines. I hope you can do this without throwing up, but I would be honored if you would sign you as a 1911 guy. I thought you were going to tell me to, well, you might be writing shove this up your ass. You might not actually be.
Dude, I own Glocks. Okay, I carry Glocks. Okay, they're a correct tool for the job. That, you know what I'm saying? So it's like not a problem.
That's funny. What's your favorite Glock?
17.